Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Bashem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakabo from Plain Tables Camp in Philly. This is for cattle. This could RFID ear tags soon be mandatory in Texas. And so apparently there's a push for mandatory tracking of cattle. So, and it's a coincidence that, the elite, they figuratively call the people that are not little hats cattle. They say Goyim, which figuratively, Goyim is plural. Goya is singular. They say Goyi, swarms of locusts, other animals. So figuratively, they say that people are cattle. All right, it means a nation of people, descendants of people, but figuratively, it means animals. So they look at us like animals. It says figuratively, a troop of animals. All right, the Goyim. All right, so when they use that term, they're saying, the other nations that are not, little hats, and also the other nations that are not little hats are like cattle. They're akin to animals. That's why they can, use certain technologies to start forest fires and interrupt the supply chain to cause a artificial famine. All right, because they don't care. We're like to the elite, we're like cattle, like animals. All right. So could RFID ear tags soon be mandatory in Texas? And the point of this is that they're pushing, if they haven't already done it, they're pushing to make RFID mandatory on figuratively Goyim, all right, cattle. All right. So it's 51 seconds. Let's let this play.
Preventing a devastating disease outbreak is always top of mind for the cattle.
So, and it's around disease. So I can see them doing that for some type of another pandemic, saying, we got to tag these people, or these certain amount of people are sick with something certain. With don't even got to be a pandemic. It can be as a sickness that people are dying from that's significant. Let's see. Mute this.
Preventing a devastating disease outbreak is always top of mind for the cattle industry as well as USDA. It's why the Texas Cattle Feeders Association says they're on board with a proposal to make electronic ID tags mandatory.
I think our expectation here is that we let this adult cattle ID program transition to electronic ID, and then work from the learnings of that program to see how we can lift that over to the entire herd so that we have a really robust traceability system utilizing electronic ID for both adult cattle and feeder cattle.
Well, the group does understand the costs associated with the switch to electronic tags, especially because they will require reading devices as well. NCBA says ID programs should be voluntary, mainly due to the added financial burden on producers.
Well, all they need is a donor. The government can say, we're paying for 90% of it. Then they're going to have no excuse. They'll have to have all their cattle RFID tagged. All right, so this is gradual. Like the apostles and elders say, they gradually introduce to technology. All right. Yeah, certain camps say, it's just used to find your dog. Well, that's intrusive enough. All right, if they have a database with you in it, all right, that's the implant. That's the Revelation 13 and 16. All right. Now in humans, it's going to be in your flesh. All right. And the elite, they look at us as cattle. All right. It's Revelation 13:16. 15th verse is referring to the Roman system. Now, the new thing in this Roman system is going to be an implant. All right. They didn't have the implant back then. All right. 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right. And in the ancient world, they had a mark, but it wasn't an electronic device. It was one is called the ivy leaf of Dionysus. All right. That was one mark, but it wasn't mandatory for everybody to get it. Now, it was imposed for a certain group of the Israelites to get it, or they will be, it says, as it is written, they will be put into the lowest registry. I mean, they will become second-class citizens, all right, if they didn't take the ivy leaf of Dionysus, all right. So it's very similar. Now, it's an electronic device because we have better technology, or more advanced technology, not necessarily better, but more advanced technology. All right. Because the scriptures say it's going to cause some type of cancer, something malignant. A noisome and grievous sore fell on all those that had the mark. All right. So let's look up mark. G5480. Charagma goes back to Charex. All right. Of a mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand as the followers of the Antichrist, as a badge of servitude. All right. So the ivy leaf of Dionysus, that would be you submitting to the power of the government. All right. If you ever stamped with the mark of that current kingdom or rulership or government. All right. Of things carved, I mean, it's going to go beneath the surface of your skin. All right. Engrave, karaso, karagma, karagmatas. All right. All have to do with engraving, a cutting into a person's flesh as a badge of servitude, to say that you agree that you're the servant of a master. All right. And back then, during the time of the Greeks, it was the Edomites that had the ivy leaf of Dionysus. All right. That if you didn't take it, you were made a second-class citizen if you didn't take it. All right, and then that passed. All right, now today, or you would be scourged if you didn't bow down to the system. Eat unlawful food. It gives examples of Israelites being scourged for not going with the status quo. All right, now you have what appears to be a gradual increase in the use of this RFID technology in cattle. And remember, the elite look at us as cattle, which Goyim figuratively means cattle, and it's referring to people. Bring that back up again. All right, animals, figuratively animals. It doesn't mean that directly. It figuratively means animals, Goyim, and that's what the elite call us: useless eaters, animals, cattle. All right, Goyim. All right. So, and it said that the USDA was almost, listen to that again.
Preventing a devastating disease outbreak is always top of mind for the cattle industry as well as USDA. It's why the Texas Cattle Feeders Association says they're on board with a proposal to make electronic ID tags mandatory.
Texas Cattle Feeding Organization. They're on board. All right, and that's where it starts. All right, so eventually, this is going to similar issues and problems is going to be the same or similar with what they're having with the cattle. And the first thing they said was some type of disease. All right, the track, so they'll be able to slaughter the animals if they get a certain disease, or give them drugs or / medicine when they get that disease. And they're going to do the same thing to us. If they tag us, they'll be able to say, okay, this person's sick, give him some medicine or put him to death. All right. And the elite look at us as cattle. All right, this is a fact. All right. That's why they said it will maintain humanity under 500 million. Well, because they look at us as cattle that's easily put down. Now, it takes a lot to kill a bunch of people. It takes a lot of time. So one thing they may do is disease, guillotines. All right, that's two things. All right. So consider that this RFID technology, if you're not a believer, is eventually going to spill over into being implanted in humans. This is the mark that I read here in Revelation 13:16. All right, and you're not going to be able to participate in any commerce if you don't have this new system. All right, and it's centered around 603 That's his number. Esau likes that number. All right, he hides it in his products and in plain sight. All right, so consider that this is going to eventually convert to humans. It's in animals now, but remember, Esau looks at us as cattle. Figuratively, Goyim, figuratively cattle. All right. It's RFID investment. No, that's something else. All right, I was looking up RFID stuff. All right, so I'll leave that there. Well, hold on. It was Proverbs. Proverbs 14:15. The simple believe with every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his goings. All right. So you got to search. You got to see the agenda, correlate it. How much has it increased from its conception? All right. Are they talking about it being in humans? All right. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. You don't be confident and it's not gonna progress to humans. Yeah, it's progressing. It's already humans already have it. Just understand that this is the technology is increasing. They're going to start using it more and more and more. Different applications. All right, and they're making it appears as though they're going to make it mandatory in Texas for cattle. All right, it's no coincidence that the elite look at people as cattle. All right, they say Goyim, which figuratively means cattle. All right, so I'll leave that there. Hope you edified. Shalom.